Hi everyone, I'm just popping in here real quick to explain where I put my books when I publish them. That's usually the first question people ask is how do I upload my book and where do I publish them, etc., etc. And the first place that comes to mind, of course, is usually the ebook, whether it's on Kindle or Barnes & Noble's Nook, etc., etc. I'm actually going to put all of them in the link below so you can just see them listed, but I'll explain here what exactly they are and why I choose what I choose. The first obvious choice, and it should be the first thought that comes to your mind, is the ebook, because that's where most of your sales are going to come from. And think of it as yourself as a purchaser. In fact, that's where everything should start, is if you were a buyer, where would you go and what would you want? That should be the decision in the cover, in the writing style, everything is, if you were this customer, what would work for you? And the thing is, we have to recognize people don't know us. We are independent artists, we're just starting out, or we may have been doing it for a while, but still, if people don't know us, they don't know us. And so they're typically going to go the cheapest route to explore us, to find us, that sort of thing. And if they grow to really like us, then they're going to go on to the paperback and then the hardback, etc., etc. But it's really going to start with the ebooks. People are going to explore with that little, cheapest and easiest type of thing. And ebooks are the easiest to buy. They're the easiest to sell and they're the easiest to buy. So you want to go with that. So the obvious choice would be spread them everywhere, right? Actually, unfortunately, the answer is no. I have discovered that just putting them on Amazon and on the Kindle is the absolute best that you can possibly do, and using their exclusive deal. Because Amazon gives you special promotional deals if you go exclusively with them. Barnes & Noble has not done that. Apple has not done that. None of these others have done that. They act like, well, we're too big for that and you're sort of beneath us. But then when we don't publish with them, they're like, what's going on? Why aren't you coming to us? And it's just like, you're not helping us. What's heartbreaking to me about saying that is not them. Screw it. If Barnes & Noble is too good for us, then they don't have to have our profits. Or the profits from our books and everything like that. What breaks my heart is there's somebody in charge of this thing called Smashwords, and that is the door to Barnes & Noble. I mean, this is sort of how snobby these other places are. They don't even have a way for you to directly upload. There is no way that I know of, at least, to directly upload to Nook, to directly upload to Kobo, to directly upload to Apple. You have to do it through this other party called Smashwords, and it is run by somebody who has such a great spirit of independent books and he was involved in the whole self-publishing industry long before me, long before most people who are now doing it, and he's so passionate about it, he cares so much about it, that he basically is the gateway, and he deals with all the BS from these bigger from these bigger distributors and stores in order to be that gateway from us to them. And in order to get your book listed with these other places, you have to go through all this formatting and all this BS, and they can oftentimes come back and go, well, no, that was, you got this wrong, you got that wrong, you have to reformat it, you have to spend all this time, relearning it, redoing it, etc., etc. While Amazon will sit there and go, okay, well, we tried to fix, your problem. Most of the time you put up what you have, they'll tell you what formatting you need to do, and if you're a little bit off, they will adjust it. Now, if you're a lot off, they will send it back to you and tell you exactly what you need to do, and their customers, or their service is there, because you're sort of a customer, but you're also sort of a co-worker with them, and they will work out with you until you have it, whereas the other places will just be like, nope, you got it wrong. Now, Jim Coker with Smashwords, he will help you along, and his company will help you along, but his hands are tied to what is available through all these other places, Apple, Barnes & Noble, etc., etc. And they offer no services if you go exclusively with them. Not Barnes & Noble, not Smashwords, none of them. They merely say, well, you should have it everywhere in order for them, to have the broadest exposure, which usually is the case, but there are so many books up in all of these places that you get lost, and so you need promotional help. Amazon bends over backward to help promote your book and to give you all kinds of options and opportunities to promote your book if you go exclusively with them. That means no Smashwords, no Barnes & Noble, none of these other things. And as much as these other people say, well, you need to maximize your exposure, well, great, you maximize your exposure and still nobody's buying your stuff. Whereas if you're exclusively on Amazon Kindle, people will start actually downloading your stuff. You make money, they make money, which is what makes Amazon smarter than Barnes & Noble and all these others, because they understand, if we help these people sell their books, we make money. So, anyway, first stop, Kindle. Go exclusively with them, and when it's exclusive, it's only the ebook is exclusive. You'll still be able to sell the physical books elsewhere, but that's going to be your biggest seller. Put it up there, use all of their promotional opportunities, and make as big a splash as you can on Amazon. Tell people do their reviews on there, etc. Use their ebook, their Kindle, etc., etc. I hate to say that because I love Smashwords, I love what Jim Coker does, but got to go with Amazon. So that's where your ebook goes, and that'll be your number one source throughout. Next thing to do, get the paperback done on Createspace. That is Amazon's physical book wing. And the simple fact is, because they're working with Amazon, it's streamlined service. You put everything on there, you follow all the instructions, and it goes right up onto Amazon, and everything's smooth. And if there's ever a problem, well, the two are talking together all the time. You go through some other service, now you're having to do it over here, and then you get transfer over there, and if there's some little mistake, you have to go, whoa, was it a problem over on Amazon, or was it a problem over here with the printer or whatever? Nope, you go with Createspace, it's all smooth, it's done. They handle everything. And you have a storefront both on Createspace and on Amazon. Plus, it's the number one place where people will find you, so, it's just easier to do that. So that's where you do your paperback. Then you're going to want, if you're going to do a hardcover, you do that on Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark, basically, when bookstores order books, they will order from Ingram or Baker & Taylor. Now, the paperback, if you go through Createspace, it's available both on Ingram and Baker & Taylor. Although it's a little bit useless that it's available through those. I don't even understand why they do those, because they are non-returnable. And all bookstores will say the same thing. We are not going to order a book that is non-returnable. Meaning they will buy the book, and if it doesn't sell, they are able to return it for a full refund. If you go through a service like Ingram Spark, they make it returnable so that when a bookstore buys it, they can return it. But when it's Createspace and it goes through just regular Ingram, regular readers aren't going to order from Ingram. Bookstores will order from Ingram. Libraries will order from Baker & Taylor. But if they're non-returnable, they won't order from them. So I have no idea why Ingram even bothers putting them on Ingram and Baker & Taylor, being non-returnable. But anyway, the important thing about them going through Createspace is having the paperbacks then available on Amazon. People who are ordering from Amazon, because you're unknown, are typically going to order are typically going to order what's cheaper. So oftentimes they'll go with the ebook, but if they go a little bit more, maybe they'll get the paperback. If they're going for a hardcover, they probably will go to a bookstore or something like that. And so that's why you go with the hardcover on Ingram Spark, because that's going to be your first initial big release if you're going to bookstores. And Ingram Spark, like I said, makes it available on Ingram, because they are Ingram Spark, that's the name. And it comes out as returnable, so you can go into a bookstore. In fact, what I will do, I'm even going to grab the hardback cover for you here. What I will do, I'll go into the bookstore with this, and this is the hardcover. It looks really nice, total professional job. I mean, it takes, it just has my name on there. Anyway, has the inside flaps and everything. I mean, it's, really, it is the total professional job. The thing about it is Ingram Spark is expensive. You have to pay for a setup fee and all that. You do have to get your own ISBN, whereas on the paperback, it comes with an ISBN. You can just have it automatically done, so it doesn't cost anything to do one of these, but again, it becomes non-returnable at the bookstore. So you're not getting into bookstores with these, but they will be orderable on Amazon. These will be available for bookstores, and the reason, really the best way to do hardcover is oftentimes a bookstore is more likely, because a bookstore is more likely to get a hardcover anyway, because that's usually what the first thing is that goes out. Usually when a book is selling, the first thing to come out is a hardcover. So bookstores are going to see paperback, they're going to go, oh, what, second, third running? I didn't even see the first running. They may not even get it. But they see hardcovers like, oh, new release? Okay, let's take a look at it. And especially if you go into the bookstore with one of these, you say, hey, I have this book. I think it'll be good for your audience. Here's what it's about. Have your one-line pitch, one sentence, maybe two at most, something quick so they can get through. And what they are going to do is they're going to take it and they're going to scan this barcode and they're going to go, oh, I see it's returnable. Okay, I'll try it. I'll try a couple, especially because it's returnable. They'll order a couple copies because what do they lose? They'll have $20 tied up for a month, whatever, and they'll just try it, see if it sells, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, and by the way, if it's a local bookstore too, you can tell them, hey, I will even if you order it, I will come in and sign it, which of course that makes it more valuable, more likely to sell, etc., etc. So those are your three main things: ebook on Kindle, paperback on Createspace, and hardcover on Ingram Spark. They're all linked below. Take a look. It's definitely what I would recommend for you to use your books. Anyway, see you later.